Noah Harrington had everything people envied: mansions, cars, and the promise of a $40 billion inheritance from his father, steel magnate Richard Harrington. But inside the marble walls of his family's empire, Noah was drowning. 17 years old, cocky, defiant, and failing every class at Eastwick Academy, he wore his failures like a badge. Teachers had given up on him. Classmates mocked him behind his back. He believed the world was his playground, and his last name a shield. That illusion shattered the morning his father stormed into the academy in a three-piece suit, dragging the weight of empire behind him. In front of students and faculty, Richard humiliated his only son. His voice carried like a gavel. 8 weeks, Noah. 8 weeks to pass every course. Do it, or I cut you off. No inheritance. No safety net. Nothing. The ultimatum spread through the halls like wildfire. Billionaire's son threatened with exile. Whispers echoed, he'll never make it. He's too dumb, too spoiled. Noah laughed it off in public, but inside he felt the walls closing in. For the first time in his life, money couldn't protect him. One night, after vandalizing a teacher's car in a fit of rage, Noah found himself assigned to detention. There he met the man who would quietly dismantle his arrogance. A janitor named Marcus Green. Middle-aged, wiry, with kind but weathered eyes, Marcus seemed invisible to everyone else. He pushed his mop across the linoleum like it was a conductor's baton, humming softly. Noah sneered at first, but Marcus spoke with a calm confidence that disarmed him. Funny thing about dirt, Marcus said, rinsing a mop. Doesn't matter how much you ignore it. It always shows up, just like the truth. Noah rolled his eyes, but something about the man's tone lingered. That night became the first of many lessons. Marcus began tutoring him in unconventional ways. Algebra through mop buckets and ratios of water and soap. Physics demonstrated with the tilt of a broom. History retold not from textbooks, but from scars of lived experience. At first Noah resisted, embarrassed that his secret teacher was a janitor. But slowly, through Marcus's relentless patience, he began to understand. Marcus had a way of making failure feel like a stepping stone rather than a dead end. Every mistake, he said one night, handing Noah a rag, is just proof you're trying. Failure isn't your enemy, son. It's your teacher. Arrogance is the enemy. For the first time in years, Noah earned a passing grade. Then came the revelation that broke his world in half. Late one evening, while storing cleaning supplies, Noah stumbled on a box of patents and blueprints tucked inside Marcus's locker. They weren't the ramblings of a janitor, they were innovations in clean water technology, years ahead of their time. Marcus's past unfolded like a tragic play. Once a celebrated engineer and founder of green tech solutions, he had built a device that could purify water cheaply for millions. But Richard Harrington had crushed him, stealing patents, burying his reputation, driving him out of the industry until the only work left was janitorial. The man who was teaching Noah how to learn had been destroyed by his father. Noah felt betrayal claw at his chest. Was everything he had built his life upon a lie? He struggled in silence, torn between the inheritance that defined his future and the man who had given him hope. The turning point came when Noah decided to enter the Academy's Innovation Fair. Instead of coasting on a store-bought project like usual, he worked with Marcus and his friends Emma and Daniel to revive one of Marcus's inventions. They called it Project Ejisa, a portable water testing device inspired by Marcus's lost patents. They poured nights of sweat into it, and for the first time, Noah felt pride in effort rather than entitlement. On the day of the fair, disaster struck. A teacher, Mr. Langford, hungry for power and secretly aligned with Richard Harrington, sabotaged the project. The device lay in ruins hours before presentation. Noah was ready to quit, but Marcus refused. You can rebuild. The pieces aren't broken, you just are. Fix yourself first, then fix the machine. With Marcus guiding them through the night, they rebuilt Project Aegis. The next morning, Noah stood before the auditorium, his hands trembling. Cameras flashed. Students scoffed, expecting another humiliation. Instead, Noah unveiled Project Aegis and, in a voice steadier than he felt, credited Marcus as the true inventor. The room erupted. Reporters swarmed. Marcus Green, the janitor everyone ignored, was suddenly the story. Richard Harrington's empire shuddered. Furious at being exposed, he threatened lawsuits and tried to silence his son. But the truth couldn't be scrubbed away. Students revealed Langford's blackmail schemes, and he was suspended. Journalists unearthed documents tying Richard to decades of patent theft. The headlines blazed, "Harrington Dynasty Built on Stolen Genius." Federal investigators closed in. Richard Harrington, the untouchable titan, was led away in handcuffs. Noah watched as the inheritance he once clung to evaporated in smoke. Yet instead of despair, he felt strangely free. He had lost billions, but gained something far rarer: integrity. The aftermath was seismic. Marcus was offered a role as Director of Innovation Outreach. Noah scraped through his finals not through money or influence, but through earned understanding. Together, they launched the Boots of Wisdom initiative, pairing students with overlooked workers to show that brilliance doesn't always wear a suit. Within 2 years, Marcus and Noah co-founded Blue Horizon Innovations, bringing affordable water purification to communities worldwide. The mentorship program spread across schools, igniting a national movement. Noah's half-sister, Lila, once estranged, returned to stand beside him, and the Harrington legacy transformed from greed to service. But time is merciless. Marcus, older and battling Parkinson's, continued to mentor until his strength faded. He passed quietly, leaving behind a trail of students who swore they would carry his lessons forward. At Eastwick Academy, a bronze statue was unveiled in his honor. Marcus Green, mop in hand, plaque reading, "Greatness often wears boots." Years later, Noah stood at a podium, delivering a commencement address. The once spoiled boy, now a man forged in truth, spoke not of wealth but of failure, resilience, and hidden wisdom. He published a memoir, Blueprints in a Bucket, sparking debate across the nation. Was it betrayal to expose his father, or was it redemption to honor the man society had thrown away? The arguments raged, but Noah didn't care. He had chosen his path. And every time he caught sight of that statue at Eastwick, Janitor, who became his teacher, remembered the lesson that saved him. The world's greatest inheritance isn't money. It's wisdom, passed down quietly, often from the people no one notices.